Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. A landmark exhibition is opening up next month at Congregation Mickve Israel titled Forging Our Sacred Liberty, the Declaration of Independence and Religious Freedom in Savannah, 1733 to 1790. Rabbi Robert Haas joins us along with B.H. Levy, one of the exhibit co-chairs. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Well, we were talking during the break, and I know you have a lot of details about this, but this is part of Savannah's broader celebration of our nation's 250th anniversary.
Absolutely, and our synagogue has basically been here the entire time, which has been really amazing. And so what we decided is for this anniversary, we wanted to do something not only on the 250th celebration, but the idea of religious freedom, because it has been an incredible opportunity for our community to live in a place that gave us rights that we had never seen before. And that's why we came to Georgia, and we found it here, and it's been amazing.
And speaking of your synagogue, you mentioned that it's been here for a long time. It's the third oldest Jewish congregation in the United States and the second oldest religious institution in the state of Georgia.
Absolutely, 100%.
Second only to Christ Church in Georgia. There are several themes to this special exhibit that opens to the public on Monday, by the way. One theme is that of the 13 original British colonies in North America, Georgia was at the forefront in granting freedom of religion to its residents. And another central theme is how General Oglethorpe was such a leader, way ahead of his time, as a social reformer and an abolitionist. He did a 180-degree turn on the abolition question. And finally, another theme is the Georgia Charter of 1732 that was signed by King George II to establish Georgia, granted freedom of conscience, meaning freedom of religion, to all those who would settle in Georgia, with one exception, and that is what were then called Papists or Catholics, because Georgia and Great Britain and Spain, which was predominantly Catholic, were at odds with each other historically.
Yes. So let's talk about what people can see when they visit. The exhibit showcases some rare archival materials.
Yes, there are some pretty neat artifacts, I think, that will be on display that have never been on public display before. One of them is what's called the cocked hat, which was worn by Sheftel during the Revolutionary War. He started as an assistant to his father, Mordecai Sheftel, who was the highest-ranking Jewish officer in the Continental Forces. He was a colonel, and he wore that hat from the time he was 15 in 1778 until he died in 1849. The same hat, and that hat will be on display, along with his grandfather, Benjamin Sheftel, who was one of the original settlers who came over here in 1733. His Masonic apron, which was graciously loaned to Mickve Israel for this exhibit by Solomon's Lodge, which has been safeguarding it all these years. So they will both be on display, along with some other artifacts from the early and mid-1700s.
Yeah, and you were just talking about it, and we do have photos of some of those artifacts. Now, this will also include a tour, am I correct?
Yes, a docent-led tour, and there is a sign-up process for the tours, because the room is not real large where the exhibit is, so we have to have a sign-up process. And I think there is some information on display about how people can access that online. www.mickveisrael.org/America250, I believe it is, but look online.
Okay, and online would be, so we'll have the information on the article. So this is an 8-month exhibit, and you say that this is really a timely exhibition that explores faith, freedom, and civic leadership.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rare thing. We've come to assume the world looks at everything like we do in America: freedom of religion, freedom of opportunity. We're not perfect, but what we do here is remarkable. And what they did back then was even more remarkable. And so for us, we're so appreciative because as a Jewish community, there was no place on earth where we had freedom. There was no place on earth that gave us rights until we came to Georgia. And this was really the first place in maybe 2,000 years or more that said you're going to have rights. And we really have taken hold here, and then the rest of the United States as well. So we wanted an exhibition that showed off all these rare artifacts that have never been seen before, but also to say thank you. We're going to have a big weekend this weekend. We're going to have the former chair of the American Jewish Archives, one of the largest Jewish archives in the world, come and speak. We're going to have a big ribbon cutting Friday night and services Friday and Saturday morning. And it's just a way for us to say we're celebrating and appreciating at the same time, because Georgia really was at the forefront. It's not spoken about as much as it probably should be, but it was at the forefront of what we would consider the origins of religious freedom.
And one last question, because we have about 30 seconds before we go. What are you hoping people take away once they visit this exhibition?
I would say basically what the rabbi has just gone over, that Georgia was at the forefront in granting religious rights to religious minorities, and that those rights were codified in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights later on. But in a de facto way, those rights were exercised in everyday life well before the Declaration of Independence here in Georgia.
Rabbi Haas, B.H. Levy, even though you told me not to call you Mr., you told me to call you Admiral. Thank you so much for joining us today. You can scan the QR code on the flyer you see on your screen for more information or to purchase your tickets. Forging Our Sacred Liberty, the Declaration of Independence and Religious Freedom in Savannah, 1733 to 1790, opens this Monday, May 4th, and runs until Friday, January 8th, 2027 at Congregation Mickve Israel. That's at 20 East Gordon Street. You can find more information and see this interview again anytime by visiting our website at wsav.com/community corner.